Last time in part 1 of this trilogy doco, we saw how my Enterprise A design has taken the first christening steps to become a 3D CGI model fit and ready for visual effects animation. As keen and patient as I have been for this to happen, it has only taken 21 years since her initial conception way back in 1993 to make it so. Early stages of building began in January of this year by American engineer Greg Blass, then Lisbon 3D designer Nuno Guerrero, who then passed the basic model of her over to Star Trek fan-made CG maestro Raul Mamoro. Very eagerly waiting to see what Raul would come up with, months have now passed with no further contact from him. So a little disheartened and disappointed, and after seeking further CG designers to take her up, I got well inspired to make a 1 meter scale model of her. 3 weeks into the building process, and I already knocked off the top of the saucer section most very well, accurately crafting her out of rigid foam and cardboard. They say that keeping busy and creative generates further potential and opportunities, collectively so, and this was very much the case at this time, when I was then approached by London CG modeler Dave Donovan, who is preparing to make a fan-made Trek movie called Dark Spectre, and very kindly offered to incorporate my design into the production after seeing my good stuff on YouTube. So cutting back time on the physical model now, I handed Nuno's 3ds Max files of the ship over to Dave to continue on her. With the 2 files of the body and nacelle supplied to me by Nuno, Dave began putting the ship together all in one, joining her by building the double-angled pylons. Initially, looking at her in perspective in classic view, the pylons appeared too skinny proportionally to the rest of the ship's weight, so this needed adjusting off from the plans. Working with Dave one-to-one on Skype screen share was really fantastic, as I could watch him step by step and be part of the process with him along the way. The first week was spent working on the back of the saucer section, around the center spine area and impulse engines. Having the physical model at hand also helped Dave see details difficult to grasp from the elevation plans alone. Watching Dave at work allowed me to get a feel for 3D Studio Max in action, along with doing a few online YouTube tutorials in my own time. Learning the basics now of 3D CGI construction, I could now work on the files as Dave progressed day after day. After fixing up the saucer mesh point by point, which was in great need at this early stage of a good accurate fix-up, the curve of the saucer turned out beautiful, and Dave was most happy with my very first 3D efforts. Next on the agenda was the all-important bridge, which turned out just fine after only 2 days' work. Once that was done, we continued with the body of the ship to get just right to plan, and kindly so, Dave assigned me my first modelling task, and asked me to mould the basic shape of the torpedo bay housing, which was already roughly shaped by Nuno's original efforts. Within a couple of hours into my set task, and I had made the main shape most accurately well. To quote Dave's words when he saw what I did, "Well done, my loyal Padawan learner." Funny. During the days working with Dave, we posted regular updates on Facebook about our progress, and also around this time I very fortunately became Facebook friends with Star Trek designers Doug Drexler and Douglas E. Graves, who, also working with John Eaves, are 2 key designers from over the years for Star Trek. Now the ship is looking fabulous, at about 85% complete. Next on the line will be the fine-tuning of the body and nacelles to match the plans properly. Along with all the fine-tuning and smaller details, the windows will need to go in too, and along with the all-important textures at the end to finish her up well and good, not to mention the lighting also. Once all that is done, she will be fit and ready to animate for film. Not only for Dave's Star Trek Spectre film, but also, just as importantly, for my own visual effects pursuits, taking off in a big way now, CG-wise. I'm very much looking forward to making many small films of my design flying through space in many ways. And now, with the wonderful world of 3D CG animation opened up to me, my Starship design will be set long-term into the future now, with many more creative years of work on her yet to come. Very inspiringly so. And for a bit of fun here I am as captain of her at the helm on the bridge, all suited up in my own personal Starfleet tailored design. Photoshopped, by the way. So stay tuned, people, and Hollywood, for the final installment in this trilogy doco, when we finally see her completed in 3D after 21 patient years of waiting. And don't forget to also check out my Facebook page dedicated to documenting Mystic Spenny's enterprise coming to life. As beautiful and excellent as she is, my Starship Enterprise A definitely has a design that will see her long into the construction times of the 23rd century and beyond. She is definitely a design of the future. I wish I was there.